Shalom. This is just a Fox News article that came out concerning the drug wars that have been going on. I'll let this play a little bit and then I'll read on as well. El Chapo son steamed from U.S. warrant drug lord's family to compensate victims' families. So see what happens here.
I was in D.C. I'd come in from the field for a meeting, and there had been reports that he'd been captured by the Guatemalans long before that, and there was another story that he had died in a shootout, and all of that was fictitious. So we demanded a photo of him, and a couple of days later we got the photo, and we knew that he was actually locked up, because it was up to him when he decided he wanted to leave.
En el Centro Federal de Readaptación Social número 1, Altiplano, se registró la fuga de Joaquín Guzmán Loera.
And I was chief operations at the time, and we began hearing intelligence and chatter that he was tunneling out. Now you gotta understand, a guy like that with a history of tunnels, they left him in the same cell on the ground floor for over a year. So I think I want to say I went down in March and met with the head of the federal police and said, hey, look, dummy, here's what we know. We want you to do something about it. And he blew it off. And then Chapo escapes down the tunnel about 2 months later on a motorcycle. And of course, the head of the federal police was fired shortly after that. But it just showed you what we were dealing with.
The manhunt is still on throughout Mexico, which is where just about everyone investigating this case believes Joaquin El Chapo Guzman remains. That's where his contacts are, that's where his drug cartel operates, and it's where people have been paid handsomely to help him evade authorities and now escape prison with at least an 18-minute head start.
So with that, I'm going into Mexico's botched effort to capture one of infamous drug lords Joaquin El Chapo Guzman's son was the result of an arrest warrant from the United States, according to a report. Wild gun battles Thursday in the northern city of Culiacan, the capital of Mexico, Sinaloa's state, led to Ovidio Guzman Lopez released from custody and the death of 8 people. The gunfire also left more than 20 people wounded. As the smoke cleared, Sky News reported El Chapo's family was offering to compensate those who died and were wounded during the gunfire that pitted outnumbered militarized police and National Guard members against heavily armed gunmen with the violent Sinaloa cartel. So letting you know right here that these small nations are no longer being afraid of the U.S., You know, people, other nations are starting to rise up against the U.S. DEA agent who nabbed El Chapo shocked by Mexico's release of drug lord's son. There is no police here. Jose Luis Gonzalez Mesa, a lawyer for Guzman's family, said the family apologizes to the people of Sinaloa and particularly to the people of Culiacan. However, many there were man, no problem. They will help them economically. So basically, their family's gonna help out the family that were dead and wounded. Going on, Ovidio Guzman was released as the police retreated to prevent loss of life. So, would this have ever happened in the United States? This would never have happened in the United States. But showing you that these other nations are rising up against the U.S. It doesn't matter if it's a drug cartel, China, Russia, or these other countries out there. Regardless what they're doing, they're following under Esau. They're following under the so-called white man's rules and regulations on how to live this life, and it's the wicked way. A burning bus set alight by cartel gunmen to block a road is pictured during the clash with federal forces following the detention of Ovidio Guzman, son of drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman in Culiacan, Sinaloa State, Mexico, October 17, 2019. 36 troops arrived at home Thursday afternoon armed with an arrest warrant from the U.S. to approach Ovidio Guzman, according to the New York Post. Mexican president defends retreat of security forces, release of El Chapo's son. El Chapo's lawyer, Jeffrey Lichman, confirmed the warrant had been signed by a federal judge in Washington, D.C., although details of what went down afterwards were still murky. It's unclear what exactly happened, Lichman told the paper, adding to Ovidio was safe and not in custody. As soon as the smoke clears, we'll devour Shalaka, let me look up that word because I can't even say it. I apologize for that. Endeavor, so to try to do or achieve something, to figure out exactly what happened here, he said, according to the paper. A burnout truck used by gunmen smolders on an intersection a day after street battles between gunmen and security forces in Culiacan, Mexico, Friday, October 18, 2019. The arrest was issued after Ovidio Guzman and older brother were charged in 2018 indictment with conspiracy to distribute cocaine, methamphetamine, marijuana for importation into the United States. The indictment, unsealed 8 months ago, charged Ovidio Guzman, 28, Joaquin Guzman Lopez with engaging in a conspiracy to smuggle drugs to the U.S. over a 10-year period. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador on Friday defended the decision to let Ovidio Guzman go free. This decision was made to protect citizens, he said. You cannot fight fire with fire, he added. We do not want deaths. We do not want war. So that didn't sit well with the U.S., but it's okay, it's not white American families which are dying. It's not white American families which are being gunned down through a drug lord and federal agents warfare. So obviously to the U.S., it don't sit right with them. Anything that as long as it doesn't hurt the white American public, you do whatever it takes, right? That's their model. That's how they roll. But to let you understand, these nations are not sitting back anymore. It doesn't matter how small you think this nation is. Whether it be China, whether it be Syria, all these, Iraq, Venezuela, Ecuador, all these countries are starting to fight back. They're not sitting back anymore. Nobody is. This is bad, This is terrible. But at the same time, it's judgment. Let's see what he had to say. But Mike Vigil, a former chief of international operations for the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration who worked undercover in Mexico, called the violence a massive black eye to the Mexican government, and they sign that the cartels are more powerful than it is. So with that, let me get into some scriptures. I want to get into Matthew 24 verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And we've seen that. We've seen the mass deception of the Catholic Church, of the Christian Church, that they've gone around deceiving many. They've gone around saying that they are the Most High. They go around flaunting this Caesar brochure around, proclaiming that they are Hamashiach, And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So all these wars that are going around, and all these rumors of war. Look at what's going on in Ecuador lately. The gas prices go up, and all these people are in uproar. They've been trying to keep Venezuela quiet for this past year. Look what's going on in France with the Yellow Jackets, all this new stuff that's going out there in Spain. All these riots, all these wars with the people rising up. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. We've had this. Look at Venezuela. Didn't the USA just intervene and did not let that ship go into Venezuela to feed the people there? Look what happened in the islands with the storms. Didn't Trump said let them feed themselves? He didn't care about them. He don't care about them. He don't care what's going on. What about the earthquakes? All these earthquakes that's been going on in California this year, throughout Mexico, Central and South America, out in Italy, all these other areas where there's been volcanoes. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. Who are they going to deliver up? The elect. And they shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Why are we going to be hated? Because we are out there on the highways and byways reading the holy word as it should be read, telling these people what judgment is coming. Who is Israel? Who are the fakes? And what they are doing wrong, and to repent. This is why you're going to be hated, because you're proclaiming, you're prophesying all this to come, and it's happening. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And don't you see how many false prophets have rise? And don't you have Vocab Malone out there? Deceiving, continue to take all you jakes into Christianity, right? And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So you have to endure until the end. Nothing is going to be easy. Nothing is going to be given to you just because at the last minute you believe and you think you're going to just be fine and dandy without going through all this affliction. What does it say? What is going on now? Through YouTube, through the internet, through the horn, through the unicorn, through these satellites. What does it say? Matthew 24:14, and the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. It's being preached through YouTube. You go out there on the highways and byways, the elders, the apostles, all the hopeful elect, they go out there on the highways and byways with the truth, 100% truth, to preach, to let the entire world know what's going on. Let all these nations know what's going on. Let them know who is Israel. All you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Latin tribes, and Native Americans. All right? Scattered throughout the four corners of this earth. You know, and not these fake Jews that somehow ended up in Jerusalem through the help of Nazi German leaders. Okay? During World War II, all this that was planned out. Those ain't the real people. It says once the real people is delivered, there shall be no more Shalakia. There will be no more war. Nobody's gonna learn war anymore. That's in Revelations. Let's go into and it's just gonna be the same. I mean, even Luke 21:9. Well, 21:8. And he said, take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach. And the time draweth near, go ye not therefore after them. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. What are the signs from heaven? Do you not understand it? Do you not see the blood moons? What other signs? All these hailstorms we got at the beginning of the year. Hundreds of them throughout. Destroying everything. Like no other. Dry seasons. Over wet seasons. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and prosecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. When has this ever been done to all these Christians? Never. Never. They've been preaching and talking about Jesus for how many years now? For 500 years? Since Cortez and Christopher Columbus landed here in the Americas? Why is it that now that this name has been brought through the elder apostles of GMS, and even though those that came out of One West, because they knew that some of them don't want to say the name no more, but they knew the last 30 years, 35 years, just 35 years, and look at all this chaos that's going around the entire globe because of his name that's been brought out, and it's been waking up the elect. and it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it be therefore in your hearts not to meditate, but what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kings folks and friends, and some of you shall be caused to be put to death. So people around us that know who we are, that are preaching this truth, they're gonna betray us. And some of us are gonna be put to death. Not all of us, just some of us. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sakes. But there shall not an hair of your head perish. And your patience possesses ye your souls. Though these men kill our mortal bodies, our spirit's not gonna die. You know, we're if whatever the Most High wants us to go through, we're gonna go through it. And even in Mark 13:6, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be not troubled, for such things must need be, but the end shall not be yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. But take heed to yourselves. So you, Jake, you elect, take heed to yourselves. Because there's going to be trouble coming your way. For they shall, and you know what? That's actually, probably the title of this. I don't know. I was actually gonna just go off the title of the article, but now it's just might just change it into the troubles that awaits us. But take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to councils, and to the synagogues ye shall be beaten. See? It's not going to be nice in there. And ye shall be brought before rulers and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them. So what are we doing? What are we doing here? When we go out on the highways and byways, we're bringing up charges against them. And what are we doing against them as a testimony when we be brought up against them? When they take us in? Yeah, we're saying we're gonna be there saying, yeah, you're doing this, you're doing that, and you're killing me because I'm telling you the truth. And I'm trying to obey and keep all the commandments. And what does he tell us to do? To go out on the highways and byways to preach. And the gospel must first be published among all nations. What does that mean? It's going to be spoken out. It's going to be heard throughout all the nations of the world. There's not going to be no lack in it. And I'm going to go into it. I think I just had it in here as well. Going into what is, I think let's see, Revelations. This is in my book. Let me make sure. Revelation 12. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. There he goes. Just to back up, just a precept to back that up. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he prosecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. Here we go, Revelations 12 and 15. And the serpent cast out of his mouth waters as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which kept the commandments of Yahweh, and had the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. And that just goes to prove what I just got done saying over here. But when they, this is Mark chapter 13, verse 11. But when they shall lead you and deliver you up, take no thought beforehand what ye shall speak, neither do ye permitiate, but whatsoever shall be given you in that hour, that speak ye, for it is not ye that speak, but the Ruach HaKodesh. Now the brother shall betray the brother to death, and the father the son, and children shall rise up against their parents, and shall cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sakes, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. You got to endure to the end. It doesn't matter what happens. You got to be in season and out of season. But when ye shall see the abomination and desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing where it ought not, let him that readeth understand. Which I don't like reading the parentheses or the what is it? Those are just words added into, but we read it still. One of the elder apostle Tahar was talking about on one of his videos from several years ago how and those things in parentheses are just added by somebody else. But you could read it either way. Let's go Mark 13 verse 14 again. But when ye shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing where it ought not, then let them that be in Judah flee to the mountains. You're going with that. I mean, you're you know, when those days come, and they're coming very soon, you know, martial law's coming to the United States, you know, the National Guard, you know, all these the armies that the U.S. has, they're going to come in, they're going to take everybody's gun, at least try to, you know. Esau's going to fight against Esau as well. You're going to see that. You know, nobody's going to want to give up their guns. You know, but then you got a lot of these wicked 2/3 that go around gang banging, that go around trying to be just like Esau, that have guns, and they think they're Caucasians. You know, they want to walk hand in hand with them and be married with them. You know, you have these wicked ass 2/3 women that want to be married unto the Caucasian. You know, all these people are gonna catch hell. What is their hell? It's gonna be death, famine, destruction, pestilence. Why? Because they want to be hand in hand with them. And then see, the elects don't know who the these elites. Shalakia, the elites don't know who exactly the elects are. Yeah, they have us marked. You know who all these camps that are out there on the highways and byways. But at the same time, it's like, do they really know who they are? Are they going to be able to get them all? No. The Most High is going to deliver the elect. Only some of them, as it said, only some shall let's see, where was it? I lost it. Lucky, I lost it, but it only talks about some of us, and I think that might have been in Luke. Yeah, Shalakia. But yeah, it talks about only some of us being delivered into to these prisons and stuff like that, and being beheaded. You know, but not. That's just gonna be a testimony. You know, you're gonna be a testimony for Yahweh Shai. And those that do get delivered without tasting death, you know, that's still, it doesn't matter how you go, you know, whether you get beheaded, whether you get beamed up, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, that's the lot you're given. That's the character you're being played out. This is the story, you know. We're towards the end. But we're still not towards the end, because you got to remember, for 1,000 years, the elect's going to reign with Yahweh Shai. And who's going to be in slavery? Huh? Those that came against you. You know, those that prosecuted you. Because they prosecuted the Most High as well. They prosecuted his son. You know, and the same is going to be done unto us. You know, you can't expect that crown and not go through any tribulations or suffering. You know, you just got to be hopeful. And some of us are going to have to be put in those concentration camps, because you got to weed out the fakes. You know, you got to see who doesn't have faith. You got to see who has doubt. You gotta see who's willing not to take the FRID chip. All that's gonna be implemented. And with that, I just want to say shalom. Once again, you know, all praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ha Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who have taught us this truth 100% according to the Bible. Salutations to the hopeful elect who are out there on the highways and byways, risking their freedom and lives to preach this word across all four corners of the earth. Shalom.